So hopefully you can see my OneNote here on the screen. Now, OneNote is just a digital notebook. That's the easiest way to describe it. It's built in as part of Teams. So if you're using Teams and you've got that set up for your class, you'll see it called Class Notebook at the top. Here I've got a counting stick, and all I've done is I've copied that from MathsBot. You could draw a counting stick here, but for the purposes, I've just copy and pasted one in. So the strategy I'm demonstrating here is the VIP or important product number strategy. So what I'm looking for my learners to be able to do is to count on or count back from the products that they probably already know from knowing their times tables. And the beauty is, if I can just show you here, if I go up to draw and I can select, I'm already on the pencil, and I can select a colour here, and then I can use the drawing tool to just draw on the page as if it was a piece of paper or a whiteboard in the class, and I can show again how I count on or count back to work out the rest of those numbers in that sequence. And what's great about this is that whether I'm doing it in front of my learners who are in the class with me, they can see that on the board or on their machines, but also the learners who are not able to be in class at that time could still be joining in with us live and seeing me write on their page as I write on this one, because it's all connected through Teams. This next example is going to have a look at how you could use the same tool for active spelling, for example. So when they're practicing their spelling, again, rather than just having listen or jotters and taking the jotter between home, they could have some of this done in school and been able to do it at home as part of their homework, and it's all in the same place. So different active strategies there for spellings. We've got rainbow letters, loopy letters, bubble letters, whatever you do. Again, learners got choice there, and they're able to go and grab using the insert tool. They can just insert a picture, and you can see there's a picture of a bat, so I can stick that in, and then they could practice. So again, really to let learners, it's up to them, the pictures they choose, how they represent those words. But if you're doing things like that where learners have got that bit of freedom and creativity, that bit of choice, then using a journal like this lets them, they've got different colours, different inking tools, they've got the pen, the highlighter, or they can type, they can record. And then just this last example here, how you could perhaps use OneNote to engage your learners on their social subjects topic. If they're doing a topic perhaps, and they've been learning all about lochs in Scotland, so they can draw a wee picture here with the ink, they can type and they can highlight around it, so they're able to draw their attention to their own bits. Here's some notes they've made. Loch Ness got the most water, Loch Lomond's the biggest area. They can grab a picture, an essay, and put in that there's a legendary monster that lives in that body of water. Also, because it's digital, again, in a way that I think we're absolutely at a point where we can move forward from finding information on the internet and saving it to the computer that they're working on, forgetting the file name or the folder and nobody able to access that again, or having to print things, cut them and put them into a jotter. When you've got a digital jotter like this, here's a picture of Loch Awe that we found. Here is a Google map. I don't know if you're aware with Google Map, if you right click on the image, you can measure distances. So just from end to end, there's the 34.27 kilometres. So Loch Awe is the longest loch in Scotland. And we can take this snip from Google Maps, we can take an image from the web, and that really would help the learner hopefully to remember what they're doing, because they have taken the notes. Now the beauty is, when I thought about this approach, it was about supporting the learners to support themselves. How do they take notes? How do they remember? How do they support themselves when they're learning independently? How do they share their learning with an adult or a peer? And the fact is that they've got their own notes here. But also, if they're doing this in their class notebook and you've got access to that, for me that's really becoming a piece of assessment as well, because if that's the notes they're taking, I can look at that as a teacher, and not only is it supporting the learner, but it's supporting me as the teacher to make a judgment that they know this information, or that they should know this information because they've made those notes, and perhaps that's what I want to talk to them about. I want to quiz them on and see if they have retained that knowledge.